Attention, everyone. The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit. Plus, take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com, Ethiopia. See you there. Yes, you may say, no, it means he killed some animal and make some clothes. Well, yeah, according to the story, but it's symbolic. When you become a human being, you put on skin. When you leave the spiritual realms, you put on skin. You become red, you know, from Snow White to Rose Red. That's why Snow White is no longer around, and you're looking at Rose Red, just like you're looking, let's say, at Esau and calling him Jacob, because Jacob is who is inside. Snow White is who is inside of Rose Red. Okay, so that's the science that they're pulling out. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second if you didn't catch it good. This is Baba Yaga. Smoking out of her bones. Her? Yeah, man, that's a her, man.
I see it's strange, but it is.
Yeah, man, it's a witch, Baba Yaga. Now, in some of the old theology, Baba Yaga, obviously a witch would have worked for Geppetto. Geppetto, the father of Pinocchio. Them is some old-time European outlook at this stuff. These people that we have, Mother Goose and all of these killers here, these are old European gargoyle stories that they bring to us, the Brothers Grimm. Grimm, eh? You hear that name, eh? The Brothers Grimm. A lot of these stories that we love today comes from a set of people named the Grimm brothers. The Brothers Grimm. What good you can get from Grimm people. Here. So Baba Yaga now, Baba Yaga, so much stories behind this Baba Yaga, outside of her working for Geppetto. You know, Baba Yaga used to have a lot of war with Little Boy Blue. You know, Baba Yaga specifically once came to Earth, or to the real world, not to Earth, to the real world, because you know you have 3 different worlds. How it go again now?
Real world, yeah.
The real world. The real world.
The fable world.
The fable world.
And the last one. Which one?
Is the homeland.
The homeland.
So the homeland is where Geppetto lived. That's like heaven. Fable world is where the fable ran to. That's somewhere in between. And then you have the real world where me and you are. You understand? And people like Pinocchio, which is a God figure. Pinocchio is God, if you didn't know. Pinocchio is Christ. Geppetto is God and Pinocchio is Christ. And Pinocchio would go in between all 3 worlds unstopped. Pinocchio have that power. Baba Yaga have that power. And Little Boy Blue have that power. And a few others. No, this is not me making up this weird thing, you know. I'm just showing you how the story goes, because once Baba Yaga dressed up herself like Red Riding Hood by the orders of Geppetto to come to Earth to find Pinocchio. Now, Red Riding Hood covered with the red hood, obviously that's the covering of red again. That's the symbol of the blood coming from the homeland to the real world. Is spirit come to physical. This is some deep thing, vibration in a family. You don't have to be into esoterics to understand what I'm saying, you know. Even if you don't deal with it, this is what they deal with. And this is exactly what they portrayed here. No joke. So Little Boy Blue now. Little Boy Blue hooked up with Pinocchio too, you know. Little Boy Blue is who assisted Pinocchio to get back to the real world. I'm talking about way before Walt Disney was even a thought. This is when Pinocchio, this is even before Pinocchio was swallowed by fish and so. This is some old Even the stories that Walt Disney would have taken to make his movies, even those stories are taken from some old campfire talking that Europeans used to have even when they were looking to come out the cave. And so, no disrespect to nobody. I just showing you how it is. So there is some old stories. Whether they be real or not, well, they can't be real. But maybe I should say whether they be taken from a true story or they just make them out of their head like some campfire make-up story thing. I can't tell you. But Little Boy Blue, Baba Yaga, Saint, Father Christmas, not necessarily Saint Nicholas, because he morphed into all these things. Father Christmas, who else we just talked about? All Pinocchio and these people, especially these key people here, these are old Geppetto. Geppetto is a god figure. Geppetto means Joseph, Joseph, the father of Christ. Geppetto had a garden full of trees, and he told Pinocchio not to touch a specific tree, and he gonna touch the tree. Sounds familiar? He carved a bug out of the tree, Jiminy Cricket, which means Jesus Christ too. Wow. So Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. Boy Blue and Baba Yaga would have countless battles. They say Baba Yaga would torture Boy Blue, you know, for many, many years or many moons. In fact, Boy Blue would have to defeat Baba Yaga to get Pinocchio back to Geppetto in the homeland. It's a mystic thing, because remember, Baba Yaga supposed to be working for Geppetto, but Little Boy Blue didn't want to put Pinocchio back in Baba Yaga's hand. Yeah, anyway, so the Little Boy Blue that we sing in the nursery crime is considered a real superhero. Is like a Thor, you know, like them Greek, Norse, Odin kind of hero there. Now, family, hold on. I hope you're not losing me. Now is not the time to get comfortable. And yeah, man, this is a nice lecture here. You got to keep everything I say in mind. Everything is tied in together. All right, because it's going to get a little heavier here. All right, this character now that we are looking at here. This is Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche. He is the individual that brought in the idea of the overman, also known as the Übermensch. I hope I pronounced that correctly. What do you think about that? Übermensch.
Übermensch.
Right, I believe so. And he brought this idea in a book known as Thus Spoke Zoroaster. We all know of Zoroaster or Zoroaster. Zoroaster, this Rasta is a Zoro. Zoroaster from the Iranian tradition. This is an Iranian god. Some people align it somewhat to, you know, even Allah and all of that stuff. You know, that's just for another discussion. I don't want to get religious with no one. But Übermensch, German pronunciation, what he says here. Übermensch, beyond man, or Superman, the overman. This is where the term came from. The overman or the Superman. So when you hear about Clark Kent, the Superman, you know, and the person that is superhuman, you understand. Now, the same vibration here, keep in mind, this is from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche, you hear his name, German philosopher, his name comes up a lot in philosophical discussions. And this idea that has become world-renowned in 1883 comes from the book Thus Spoke Zoroaster. And keeping in mind that Zoroaster is the Iranian god, which is considered by many scholars to be very close to the concept of Allah.
Now, even when we speak about Iran, some people may say Persia, some people may say Iran, but they both are the same thing. Persia is Iran.
Beautiful stuff there. All right. No, wonderful. So let us look at this now. This is some deep stuff, eh? Because Zoroaster now, Zoroaster the prophet, I'm getting my thing mixed up here. Zoroaster the prophet is the individual that speaks of the god Arua Mazda. This is Arua Mazda. So Zoroaster, the Iranian prophet, and his religion really gives praises to Arua Mazda. It is Arua Mazda, I should say specifically, that is more aligned with the Allah figure. The Zoroaster tradition, obviously they would, put some alignment to it with Islam, the tradition, to get my words correct. But I know you know what I mean. And in reality, especially because that's why Islam is aligned with Arabism in general, just because of where it would have grown up, at least where we know its origin to be, especially in the history given to us. All right, outside of the African origin of it. Okay, so check this now, man. So what is this all about? What we talking about here? We're talking about Friedrich Nietzsche. So who he? He is the German philosopher, 1883, that brought in the concept of the Superman. Oh, Superman you're talking about now. The overman. He that overcometh. Superman is the #1 superhero. Right. Okay. So you want to say he invents Superman. Hold on. And he made mention of this in the book called Thus Saith Zoroaster. And Zoroaster is the Iranian, or Persian, as the prince says, prophet. And he's the prophet of Arua Mazda. All right. According to them, Arua Mazda is the only one that can destroy Baba Yaga. So when we say Baba Yaga now, Mithras Baba, I should say. Hold on, Mithras Baba. Don't lose me now. Who is Mithras Baba again? Mithras Baba is Mithra, the same one that wears the hat like the Smurf. Oh, okay. And Mithras is the one that is seen here destroying the bull. All right. Okay, I get that. Mithras. And Mithras is also called Mithras Baba. Oh, interesting. Right. Now I'm saying that Arua Mazda, who is he again? Come on, take it. Arua Mazda, I've been skipping these things, eh? Arua Mazda is the head god of the religion known as Zoroaster. Some people don't want to call it a religion, but you know what I'm talking about. And this fella here, Friedrich Nietzsche, says in his book, what the name of the book? Thus Saith Zoroaster. Oh, okay, I think I'm following you now. Right. He says in the book, what is it in the book? Oh, he speaks about the Superman, the overman, and that is a philosophy that the bourgeois philosophers like to mention at cocktails. I was reading literature the other day, just brushing up on the overman philosophy. Yes, it was very timely back in the Renaissance. Yeah. So it's a big thing then. Let's put it that way. You may not understand, but it's a big thing for you to be called the Superman. All right. So Nietzsche looks serious. Yeah. You follow me, man? So I'm showing you now that Mithras Baba, according to the philosophy, the only person that can defeat Mithras Baba is Arua Mazda, the Iranian god from the Zoroaster philosophy. Okay, all right. Now, Mithras Baga, that's not the only Baga we have spoken about today. We also spoke about Baga Yaga. Now, hey, I hope you're with me. Interestingly, Baga Yaga has her nemesis to her enemy, which is Little Boy Blue. Now, Little Boy Blue, for sure, although he has received his share of blows from the stories I've read from Baga Yaga, but he defeated Baga Yaga at least to get Pinocchio back home. So like Arua Mazda defeats Mithras Baga, Little Boy Blue defeats Baga Yaga. All right, so what's your point? Little Boy Blue was considered to be the clerk of Snow White. The title sound familiar, the clerk. Whatever, not clerk, Okay. Yeah. Now, what I'm saying is that the overman is the superman. Look at Little Boy Blue here. Who it look like to you, man? Come on. The overman is the superman. And Nietzsche is telling you that the overman is the man that overcometh. And his book is Thus Says Zoroaster. And Zoroaster is the prophet of Arua Mazda. And Arua Mazda is the only one that can destroy Mithras Baga. And Little Boy Blue is the only one that can destroy Baga Yaga. This is Little Boy Blue here. This is the same Superman philosophy of Nietzsche that was expressed in 1883. Thus said Zoroaster. So when you're watching Superman, just like you look at the character Thor. When you're looking at Thor, you're looking at Thor from the Norse mythology. But when you're looking at Superman, you're looking at more than Superman. You're looking at Arua Mazda. Yeah. Just like when you're looking at Batman, you're looking at Robert the Bruce. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we're going to jump here now. What we're looking at here is the area known as Göbekli Tepe. Pardon me. And really, this is the region really where one of the regions, this is in Turkey, where it is considered a Stargate. Attention everyone! The Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is inviting you to join us in September for the African Union CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sign up for the 3-day package and be a part of the AU CARICOM Summit, plus take in all of the sights of Addis Ababa, the new flower. Or you can opt for our 9-day cultural national tour, and that will engulf sites like Lalibela, Aksum, the Simeon Mountains, and much more. Transportation, accommodation, and your meals all included. So contact us now and reserve your spot. Email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com or visit our website priestisaacinstitute.com, Ethiopia. See you there.